The shadows in the room press in, suffocating, as Miriam stands frozen. The watcher, the looming figure, shrouded in darkness, doesn't move. Its form is unsettling in its stillness, as though it's waiting for her to make the first move. The room is filled with a chilling, oppressive silence that feels like it's been there forever. Miriam's breath is shallow. She's no longer sure what's real. The reflection, the archive, the twisted path of memories that have been smudged, distorted, and fragmented in ways she can't untangle. Everything she's known, everything she's believed in, has been a lie. The boundaries between her own mind and the sinister force lurking beneath the surface of this cursed town have blurred beyond recognition. The watcher shifts slightly. Miriam doesn't know if it's taking a step forward, or if it's simply the way her perception warps under the weight of its presence. The darkness surrounding it seems to swell, as though it's consuming the room piece by piece. Miriam's fingers twitch, a deep urge to reach for something, anything, but her limbs feel like they belong to someone else. She opens her mouth to speak, but no words come out. It's as if the air itself is thick, pressing against her lungs, preventing her from drawing breath. The reflection, it's not just me, Miriam realizes, her mind racing through the revelations, the shattered truths. She was never just an observer in the archive. She was the vessel, the connection, the link that tied the mirror world to reality. Her heart skips a beat as she realizes something far darker. The reflection she had been fighting against, wasn't just an echo. It wasn't just some twisted part of herself trying to escape. The reflection was the archive itself. An entity, a memory, a piece of something ancient and powerful. And now it controls her. Miriam's thoughts spiral as the figure of the watcher looms larger in her mind. It's not just a spectator. It is the one pulling the strings. The one who has orchestrated the chaos that's enveloped her life. And now it's here. "Who are you?" she finally manages to whisper, her voice trembling as the words break the silence. The watcher doesn't answer immediately. It only tilts its head, its presence so massive and consuming that it fills the room entirely. Its shadow seems to stretch, reaching toward her, enclosing her in a grip she cannot escape. "Who am I?" The voice finally comes, not from the watcher, but from deep within Miriam's own mind. It's the reflection. It's her. But it's not her. "I am you, Miriam," the voice says. "The one you've been running from all this time." The room begins to spin. The walls feel like they're closing in on her, and the reflection she so desperately tried to avoid appears in her mind's eye. It's her, standing just behind her in the darkness. Yet it's not her. It's a darker version, a shadowy echo of the woman she once was. The smile on that reflection's face is a mockery, twisted with something unspoken. "You never wanted to face the truth," the voice continues. "You've been running from it, from yourself." Miriam's stomach churns. She can feel the weight of the words pressing into her chest. The air grows colder as the watcher finally moves, its slow, deliberate steps causing the floor beneath her to creak, groan. It's coming closer. Why did you do this?" she whispers. Her words feel weak in the face of the magnitude of everything she's learned. The watcher is just a silhouette now, and yet, she can feel the force of its presence surrounding her, swallowing the space whole. "Because I had no choice," it says, its voice now deep, resonating through her bones. "You are the key, Miriam, the key to everything, to the archive, to the darkness that lies beneath this town, beneath this world. You were always meant to bring it to life. You were always meant to be the vessel." Miriam's blood runs cold as she stares at the figure, the reality of her own identity slipping through her fingers like sand. She doesn't know if she's the one in control anymore. She doesn't know if she ever was. "Stop lying to me," she gasps, the last of her willpower driving the words out. "This isn't me. This isn't who I am. This isn't real." The watcher takes another step forward, its form growing in stature. "What's real, Miriam?" the voice murmurs. "You've been living in a fractured reality for so long that you've forgotten. I've only been a reflection, a shadow in your mind. You've always known what was coming. The room becomes suffocating, and Miriam's thoughts begin to fracture. She's not sure if she's speaking aloud anymore or if it's all just in her head. And then, as quickly as it all began, the watcher stops. Pauses for a moment, still watching her, waiting for something. Miriam's chest heaves with panic. She can feel something inside her stirring, something dark, pulling at her mind. The final piece of the puzzle is slipping into place, and she doesn't know if she's ready for it. She doesn't know if anyone could ever be ready for it. "You've seen the truth, Miriam," the watcher says softly. "But now you must decide. Will you embrace what you are? Will you become what's needed to bring the archive into this world? Or will you destroy it?" Her mind is racing. She's drowning in choices, in fear, in powerlessness. And just as Miriam opens her mouth to answer, to scream, to beg for answers, the world around her cracks, splits, and everything goes dark. The watcher's true intentions remain unclear, and the final confrontation is still looming. Will Miriam embrace her fate or fight back against the forces controlling her? Stay tuned for the explosive conclusion. The darkness is suffocating. Miriam blinks, and for a moment, she wonders if she's still in the same room. The familiar cold concrete of the basement, the chilling presence of the watcher, the whispers of the reflection. All of it is gone. She can feel the weight of it in her chest, but nothing makes sense. Her breath comes in shallow gasps as she struggles to understand where she is. The air is thick with something unnatural. Her senses are overloaded, and her mind is still reeling from the revelation that everything she's known has been a lie. A carefully crafted illusion meant to guide her, to push her into a destiny she's not sure she's ready for. Miriam stumbles forward, her hand instinctively reaching for something to steady herself. But instead of a wall, her fingers brush against something soft, a surface, a human presence. Her heart skips a beat as she whips her head around, her pulse racing. But there's nothing. No figure, no watcher, no reflection. Just shadows. Where am I? She feels like she's been thrown into a void, into a place beyond the reach of time. There's no echo, no sound, nothing but the eerie hum of her own thoughts bouncing back at her. She takes a deep breath, trying to center herself. Her mind is a maze, a whirlwind of images. Flashes of the watcher's face or lack of one. The fragmented memories of the archive, the distorted reflections, and the chilling realization that she's been a part of something far darker than she ever anticipated. Miriam takes another step forward, her foot landing on something hard. She glances down, and her stomach lurches. Beneath her feet, she sees the glint of something metallic. An old key, its surface scuffed and worn, lying on the cold ground. For a moment, she stands frozen, her fingers hovering over the key. She doesn't know what it's for. She doesn't know what it unlocks. But she can feel the pull, an undeniable sensation that tells her that it is important. Grabbing it with trembling fingers, she feels the weight of it in her palm. The key is cold, almost unnaturally so, sending a shiver up her spine as she stands there in the blackness. She glances around, hoping for a sign, anything to guide her. And then, without warning, the darkness begins to recede. First, it's a small crack, a thin sliver of light cutting through the black, and then more until the entire space around her begins to form into a familiar shape. She recognizes the high, vaulted ceiling, the polished wooden floors, the hallway of her childhood home. Her heart races as she steps forward, unsure of what's real. There's a faint hum in the air, like a distant radio station broadcasting static. But as she moves further into the space, the static resolves into voices, murmurs. They are familiar but not. They are distant echoes, calling to her. Miriam. She freezes at the sound of her name. The voices grow louder, but they are not comforting. They are fragmented, jagged, like pieces of a shattered mirror. Miriam. The voice comes again, clearer this time, and then, just as she recognizes the voice, a voice that sounds like her own, it stops. The silence that follows is deafening. Suddenly, she's not alone. There's movement ahead of her in the hallway. A figure, tall, indistinct, stands at the far end, a silhouette bathed in shadow. The figure turns and Miriam's blood runs cold. She recognizes the shape immediately. It's him, the Watcher. Her heart begins to pound as the figure starts to move towards her, slow and deliberate, its form becoming clearer with every step. "Why are you doing this?" Miriam asks, her voice quivering. She grips the key tightly, as though it will offer her some kind of protection. The Watcher doesn't answer. Instead, it takes another step, then another, its movements unnervingly graceful. As it approaches, Miriam's vision blurs, and for the briefest moment, she feels like she's looking into a mirror, seeing herself reflected back. The Watcher stops right in front of her. Its face is still obscured by the darkness, its body towering over her like an oppressive force. She can't bring herself to look away. There's something in its gaze, or in the absence of it, that draws her in, that makes her feel small, insignificant. "You've seen it now," the voice echoes in her mind. "You know what's coming. You know what must be done." She feels a wave of nausea wash over her, as though the floor beneath her is tilting, shifting. "I don't understand," she whispers. "What do you want from me?" The Watcher doesn't answer. But then, as if to confirm her worst fear, the dark figure reaches into its own chest, pulling something out from beneath its tattered cloak. The object is small, delicate, glowing faintly in the dark. Miriam's breath catches in her throat as she recognizes it. It's the mirror, a piece of her own reflection, the object that started all of this. She feels the weight of it in the air, the oppressive energy of it suffocating her. The Watcher raises it to eye level, holding it between them. It spins slowly in the air, a vortex of light and dark, reflecting fragments of the past, fragments of herself. "You've always been part of this," the Watcher says, its voice now reverberating through her bones. "You've always been the key." Miriam's heart races. She wants to run. She wants to scream, but she's frozen in place, unable to tear her gaze away from the mirror. The reflection in it grows clearer, and she sees herself, her past self. A younger version of herself, innocent, unknowing. And then the reflection shifts. The face of her younger self twists into something wrong. The eyes, wide and unblinking, hollow out. The smile on her lips stretches, unnaturally so. And then, the face in the reflection begins to distort, warped, twisted, like a vision from a nightmare. "Why did you come here, Miriam?" the Watcher whispers, its voice now cold, distant. "To face the truth? Or to escape it?" The reflection in the mirror becomes a monster. Miriam gasps, her heart pounding in her chest as the twisted face in the mirror reaches out toward her. She tries to look away, but it's as if the reflection has a hold on her. She can't escape it. And then the Watcher speaks again, but this time, there's something new in its voice, something almost sorrowful. "You must make a choice, Miriam." Miriam feels the weight of the decision pressing down on her. Her entire life, everything she's known, has led her here. The reflection, the Watcher, the archive. She doesn't know if she's ready for what's coming. But deep down, she knows she's never been able to escape it. The mirror, the archive, it all leads back to her. And then, in an instant, the world around her snaps, fractures, and shatters into blackness once more. The final choice is upon Miriam. Will she embrace the power of the archive or destroy it once and for all? The conclusion of the story draws nearer, but with the truth closer than ever, can Miriam survive what she's about to become? The air is cold and thick with tension. Miriam's breath comes in shallow, frantic gasps as the darkness envelopes her once more. The twisting, distorted mirror, the reflection of something deep and unsettling inside her, lingers in her mind, refusing to fade. The sound of the Watcher's voice, so distant yet so close, echoes in her head like a haunting lullaby. "You must make a choice, Miriam." Those words, those chilling words, linger in her thoughts, binding her to the moment. She can feel the weight of the decision pressing down on her, pulling her closer to something she's not ready for. The archive, the Watcher, her reflection, warped and twisted. Each of these pieces of her shattered past are all pulling her toward a singular conclusion. But the question remains, what is the truth? Miriam closes her eyes, shaking her head, trying to block out the overwhelming flood of thoughts that threaten to consume her. The pain in her chest is almost unbearable, as though something within her is being torn apart. Her entire life, it seems, has been built on lies, on things hidden from her, on manipulation. The reflection, was it ever truly her? Was the archive always inside her, waiting to be awakened? And what about the Watcher? That entity, that presence, had been following her for what felt like lifetimes. It had seen her. It had known her. But now, as she stands on the precipice of what could be her final choice, Miriam doesn't know what's real anymore. Her fingers tremble as she grips the cold key in her palm. It's heavy, but not from its weight. It's heavy with the knowledge that it may be the only thing that can free her. She has to use it, but she doesn't know what door it opens. Or if that door should even be opened. But she can't go back. Not now. Not after everything she's seen. Why can't I just leave? She whispers to the emptiness around her, her voice small and desperate. Why does it have to end like this? The silence that follows feels endless, stretching into infinity. But then an answer, one that seems to come from the very walls around her. Because you are not alone, Miriam. The words are cold, like ice. Miriam's heart skips a beat. She turns quickly, but there's nothing there. No watcher, no figure lurking in the shadows. Just the darkness, suffocating and endless. Yet the words remain. You are not alone. Her mind races. She's been here before. She's faced the truth. She's faced the darkness. And yet, there's a part of her that hasn't truly accepted what it means. What it will cost her. Miriam's knees buckle beneath her as the weight of everything crashes down. The memories, the echoes, the disturbing reflections. They all come together now, an overwhelming flood of images and voices. She sees herself, or what she once was, an innocent young woman with a life ahead of her, only to be dragged into a world she never understood. And then she sees Claire, her mother, the one person who might have been able to help, but who too has been swallowed up by the very same darkness. Was it always meant to be this way? Her head spins. The archive, the reflection, Claire's disappearance. Everything is connected, but how? Miriam looks down at the key in her hand once more. The metal glints faintly in the dark, a small but undeniable symbol of power. It holds the key to everything. But Miriam knows that whatever door she opens, it will forever change her. But that change may be inevitable. The voice returns, but this time, it's different. It's a whisper, not from the Watcher, but from within. If you choose the archive, you will become it. The memories, the reflection, they are all you. She feels the weight of the decision, a decision that could end everything or lead her deeper into the unknown. But is there even a way out anymore? Can she escape the legacy of the archive, or will it claim her, as it claimed Lucas, as it claimed Claire? There is no more time. The moment is now. With trembling fingers, Miriam inserts the key into a nearby door that she hadn't noticed before. It's old and weathered, but the lock clicks, responding to the key with a sharp, final sound. The door creaks open slowly, and beyond it lies a long corridor. This is it. She steps forward into the unknown. But the hallway is not empty. The figures appear again, out of the shadows, faces barely visible, yet familiar. Figures from her past, her memories, Lucas, Claire, even the Watcher. Their forms blur, flickering like a film reel torn between two worlds, a warped reflection of everything Miriam has experienced. The hallway seems to stretch infinitely, its walls shifting and warping, threatening to close in on her. And then, from the very end of the corridor, the figure of Claire emerges, stepping forward slowly, her face soft yet filled with an eerie sadness. Miriam's heart stops in her chest. "Mom," she whispers, her voice trembling with disbelief. Claire's lips curl into a faint, melancholic smile. "Miriam, you've come home." Tears sting Miriam's eyes. The tension in the air thickens as she takes a tentative step forward, unable to fully comprehend what she's seeing. Claire extends a hand toward her, her eyes filled with a complex mix of love and sorrow. But as Miriam reaches out to her, something shifts. The corridor around her begins to warp, the walls flickering like a glitch in the fabric of reality. Claire's face twists for a moment that feels like eternity. Miriam. Claire's voice changes, deepening, becoming something unrecognizable. It's too late now. You've crossed the threshold. The space around them shifts violently, the walls bending and distorting, a cacophony of whispers rising to a deafening roar. Miriam takes a step back, realizing with a jolt that everything is slipping away. Claire's face morphs, her eyes growing black, her smile stretching wider. Miriam. She hears from all directions at once. It's too late for you. The hallway begins to crumble, the entire world folding in on itself. Miriam's heart pounds in her chest as the key in her hand burns, searing her skin. She has no choice but to run. But where to? There is nowhere to run. To be continued. The world is collapsing around Miriam as the final choice looms over her. The archive is ready to claim her. Will she surrender to its dark legacy? Or will she fight it, even if it means losing everything? Part 12 promises to reveal the ultimate fate of Miriam as she confronts the truth of her connection to the archive and the price she must pay.